All right, friends, for those who are tuning in via the recording, welcome to Beatitudes Missions and our 8th pilgrimage with Gaming students to Israel. And my name is Father Anthony, and these are our trusted interns who will be accompanying us. We are currently in France. Wait, Sarah. Okay, it's Sarah. This is
so pretty.
Fernando and McKenna. And then a sister named Rosa Miriam, who's in Sicily right now. This is our leadership team. And we're going to dive right into some practicals. We're so excited that you're coming. And also want to let you know there is some room to add a few more people. So if your friends ask. So this is the page that you've all seen. And this is the prep stuff you've already been through. Flights. So we want to make sure that you all have flights. Is everyone who's tuning in? Is anyone who doesn't have their flight already? You've all booked your flights to Israel? Okay, so this is an important thing. Please let us know if you haven't booked your flight yet. You really need to be on these exact flights. And if you wait longer, the price will probably just go up. And so it's great you guys are able to come on Friday. Sometimes the government groups have to come on Saturday. But they asked if you would go home on Saturday so that you can be awake for your classes on Monday morning. So that wasn't my decision, but I think it's a good decision because professors were complaining when people go home on Sunday, because it takes a long time to get home and it's exhausting, right? The travel. And the way they do it in Gaming is they take you all to the airport at midnight because everyone's trying to get out on morning flights and stuff. And so there will be buses that are organized by the Gaming end to get you to the airport for this 6:15 a.m. flights. Okay. And we will be there to pick you up with a bus at 10:40 a.m. And want to just share with you just orally some of our, I don't know if can I share this? Probably. So this is like a rough draft of the pilgrimage itinerary. So Friday, 11 or so airport pickups. So you guys just come out as a group. I'll designate one of you guys. I don't know if maybe Will. I don't know if is Will a responsible guy? He has the responsible look about him, but so I don't know, Will, maybe we could connect sometime before to see if you could coordinate maybe getting people to meet up for another quick Zoom while you're there in Gaming with everyone. Maybe later on for last minute questions. And then we just need one of you to give me updates that yes, you got to the airport okay. And then
are you talking to me? That's not
Will Clark. Are you Will Clark?
Yes, I am Will Clark, but I'm not Will in this Katie Films thing that's on the screen. I'm just confused.
Oh, where's the notes on the side? It's like Katie Films.
Yeah, those are my notes about you guys. I was taking notes on what films you guys like, in case we ever had a night out on the town, you know. So back to the agenda here. So we just need to know when you guys arrive, and then you guys need to come out of the baggage and into where everyone else comes into the airport, and we'll be there to catch you. And from that moment, just to answer a frequently asked question, from that moment, there isn't a whole lot of free time. We're really on a program, and it's maybe good for you all to come with the mindset that it's like you're on retreat, because it's a very fun experience, and it's once in a lifetime, and it's definitely not the same program that other pilgrimages give, because you're young people and you're abroad. It's your school break. There isn't a ton of like academics during the trip. There isn't a ton of politics. It's really the kind of stuff that you love, which is hiking, camping, praying, and roughing it, and exploring, meeting people, and so like it's a lot of stuff that you love, but there isn't a whole lot of flexibility. In fact, there are free times, but it's free times within parameters, and free times are off when we're sending you off to go eat or whatever, or visit something as a small group, you know. So it is pretty structured experience, and that makes it very different from other things you could do with your 10-day break. Okay. With that as well, there aren't many extra costs. Like there is flexibility to buy snacks, and we're counting on you to buy maybe 2 meals or 1.5 meals, but you'll have flexibility to spend other money or to buy extras like beer and shawarma or kanafe. Do you know what kanafe is? Kanafe is the best. So you'll have moments where you can spend money, and I think it's really fun to do your Christmas shopping in Bethlehem rather than in the Christmas markets in Austria. That's your choice though. But like, so it's pretty structured at the same time, like the whole experience is paid for. And as far as Holy Land trips, this is the cheapest.
Are we taking them to the Coptic?
And we will take you to the cheapest place where you can spend money on souvenirs in the Holy Land. There's 2 of them. They're Egyptian monks and nuns. And so like we definitely try. We also we change money for you. So we're there ready to change shekels for your euros or dollars, or for stuff money you want to Venmo us. But it's hard for us. The reason we ask you to bring a few $100s, the rest of your payment over, is because it's complicated to wire money to Israel. It's just a different system, and it's just a little bit complicated for the banks to release the money and the fees we have to pay. And so we ask you guys to bring some money over, each of you, your spending money and the rest of your payment. But when you arrive, we're able to take that money, so you're not traveling with it, and then change your money so that you don't lose time or lose money on the exchange rates. Okay. What else? So when you guys arrive, it's going to be a pretty intense day upon arrival. We're gonna go straight to Emmaus, where our community lives, at the holy site of Emmaus. It's a little overwhelming to like arrive straight from the airport at a place where Jesus celebrated the first mass. But that's where we're going to be for adoration and or mass, maybe lunch, or maybe we'll just grab our picnic and go. But anyway, we'll be able to equip a little bit there. So we need to know from you whether you want. We're going to send out a little survey to see if to make sure we know what you guys want to rent, because you can rent. I think they have sleeping bags for you to check out there in Gaming. But even for luggage questions, if you wanted to rent one of our sleeping bags for minimal cost, we give a sleeping pad to everyone with no extra charge. You'll need a sleeping pad, and that's awkward to travel with. But of course, for the rest of our payment that is brought in cash, will you have? Yeah, we'll have change, no problem. If you have a great sleeping pad that you'll sleep better with, bring it, because we give you really thin sleeping pads. But we do give them for free, and then we have a few extra backpacks to rent out, like backpack. It's really important you have a backpacking backpack. But that's one of the most important things on the packing list that I think you want for your experience in Gaming. So we really encourage you, whether in the States or in Gaming, to get a backpacking backpack. It's so much easier to travel on and off of trains and stuff in Europe with a good backpacking backpack, a good 45, 50 liters, even 55 or 60 liter backpack. So you can get them secondhand, or you can get them online, or you can get them once you're in Europe. But we encourage you to already have that, but we do have a few we could loan. And what's that? And hammocks. You totally get a hammock at the place where we're going to spend 2 nights at a public beach. So if you want to rent one of our hammocks, we have great hammocks that have mosquito nets. Okay, so that's stuff that we'll follow up with in an email. When we arrive, we have a an amazing hike. For me, the most beautiful place in Israel on the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. And it's really desert country and very beautiful, and a big descent from because Jerusalem's pretty high, and then it's a straight ascent down to the lowest place on earth, right? The Dead Sea. And so we're going to walk down part of that to a monastery in a cliff, and it's an optional walk. So if you want to just go to the panorama because you happen to have just sprained your ankle or something like that, you know, it's possible to not do the walk, because our some of our leadership team will be dropping us off and then taking some of our food stuff to the place where we're staying in Jerusalem. So it's an optional hike, but at least everyone will be able to come to the panorama, and we'll probably have lunch or mass at the panorama. So like right off, you're gonna have this like amazing desert hike, and so you have to be ready for that, which means like getting some sleep before you go, because you won't have much sleep the night you travel. It means drinking water and stuff before you arrive, taking care of so some of those needs. You want to arrive ready to hit the ground running, because our first day is gonna be awesome. And then a long bus ride to Nazareth. So we're spending the first night in Nazareth. And then Friday, Saturday. Oh sweet, we have mass in the upper basilica. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, the big altar. So we made like it's kind of a crapshoot when you make reservations. Through we have our inns on the agency reservation platform in Israel, but like still it's not easy to get what you want, but it depends on the size of your groups. So we have mass in a really cool epic, it's like the biggest church in Israel, and where the Annunciation happened. And okay, and then so that night, Saturday night and Sunday night, we are camping on the shores of Galilee next to Capernaum. And it's amazing to just to be there and to be able to swim where, I don't know if you guys were at mass today, but where Jesus swam and where Jesus walked on water, and to just be there and take that in. And so so we'll camp there, and then we'll just visit on foot. We'll have quite a bit of walking on Sunday to the Mount of Beatitudes, to the place of the multiplication of loaves and fishes, to the place where Jesus said, where Peter, do you love me, and those things, and to Capernaum where everything happened. So okay, so it's something that our trips avoid is the plush restaurants and hotels and gift shops that all the other pilgrimages go to. They waste their time in the plush places, and we just get to rough it with Jesus where Jesus camped. Okay. Every night we spend during this trip, we will be on a holy site. Every night. No, almost every night. Because Monday night, we will sleep in the deserts. Yeah. And we don't know if Jesus actually went there, but it's close. Okay, so we have one Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. So Friday night, the first night, we're sleeping in a parish center on the floor. So we're still on mats. It's still roughing it, but we're in a parish center that is the best location to be in Nazareth, but it's roughing it in an Anglican parish center. And there will be one awful shower. And so we're still roughing it, even though we are not on the beach that day. So just be ready that the conditions the first few days are going to be very simple. And your first refreshing bath will just be diving into the Sea of Galilee, which is, even though it's a salty freshwater sea, it's awesome. Okay. But before that, you're probably not going to have much showering. But you'll be fed well, because Fernie and Sister Sister Rosa Miriam is an Italian cook. She's amazing. And Fernie, as far as Kansas professional chefs go, oh, okay. So okay, so know that's coming up. And then what do we do on Tuesday? I really hope that we go to Hebron. Okay, so we camp out in the middle of Monday. After we're in Galilee, Monday we'll go to the site of Jesus's baptism and go to Jericho and go to the Dead Sea. If you've ever heard of the Dead Sea, it's the weirdest thing you've ever done. To bathe in the Dead Sea. Okay, so those first days you are in and out of water often, and but roughing it. Okay, and okay, but not showering, and then Tuesday. I hope that we do this. So we could cut it, but it's something I haven't done with the group in a while. I like for each group to have something special that other groups didn't do. And so for your group, this could be it. Is going to the site where the patriarchs and matriarchs are buried. So you can look up Hebron in your Bible, and Hebron's mentioned about 65, 70 times in the Bible, but you might not have remarked that. Hebron is where Abraham buried Sarah. He bought the land to bury her, and then afterwards he was buried there, as well as Isaac and Rebecca, and as well as Jacob and Leah. Okay, Rachel wasn't buried there. And it's a very controversial place. So it's a place where we have to take the temperature. If there are riots or things like that, we might avoid it. But it's one of the most legit holy sites in the Holy Land, if not the most like legit super old site. And the building itself was built by King Herod and not destroyed, and then later made into a church. And then today it's divided. Half of it is a mosque and half of it is a synagogue. And the Israelis can't go into the Muslim side, and Muslims can't come to the Jewish side, but we as Christians can go to both sides. And so that's an incredible opportunity we have to go into a space of worship of Jews and a space of worship of Muslims. So that's something that's going to blow you away culturally, and also where you're going to feel the tension of the conflict of Israel-Palestine. Okay, but for us, we're going there to pray to these people that we consider saints. All these patriarchs and matriarchs are on the calendar of the Catholic Archdiocese of Jerusalem as celebrated as saints. Okay. And then we'll have Christmas in the afternoon in Bethlehem, and have mass at the altar that's the closest you can get with a group of our size, the closest you can get to where Jesus was born. And then in the grotto where Saint Jerome lived. And then that night, Tuesday night, we will be in Jerusalem. And so we'll spend the rest of our nights, I believe, in Jerusalem, at the most beautiful place to stay in Jerusalem. I'm not bragging, but it's a little more expensive than the other accommodation that we like to get. And the other accommodation was booked, so we got this one. And sometimes it's a little inconvenient and it's a little expensive, but it's really awesome. And my favorite place to go with groups. And so it's a dormitory. So you were wondering, you're sleeping on the floor for the first 4 nights on the ground or on the floor. But then afterwards, we have an awesome accommodation that has nice bunk beds. Okay, so it's like 4 to a room, and the rooms are more or less divided. Men and women are divided, and there's lots of showers, and they're clean and nice, even though it's made for big groups. And there's a kitchen where it's really functional and stuff, and it just has awesome views of the old city. It's right by the old city, and it's on this. Has anyone seen Mel Gibson's Passion? So you know where Jesus was lowered into the pit in a harness in Mel Gibson's Passion. So that idea of him being lowered in the pit like that comes from the excavations at the site that we're staying at, where they found this pit that was obviously used for prisoners, and that has Christian markings that are really ancient and stuff. And so But so it's the side of the Sanhedrin, in fact, where Peter denied Jesus. Okay. But it's very beautiful, and it belongs to the Assumptionist fathers and sisters, so we'll meet them. And they're the ones who do publish The Word Among Us, if you've ever seen that. It's kind of like Magnificat. So that's the awesome point of departure for the rest of our, but it's a very prayerful place, and it's a place where we'll be able to recollect with our Lord. And so from there, we'll visit each day, we'll visit different steps along our Lord's passion, death, and resurrection, and Pentecost. And then Saturday, so during our time in Nazareth and on the beach, Galilee, and in Jerusalem, there will be certain free times. Okay, there will definitely some free time in Jerusalem just to go hang out and sit at a coffee shop and write a postcard, or do more shopping, or have extra prayer time, or just have fun. Maybe we'll have an optional visit. For example, I like to make it optional to go into this Indiana Jones cave, to visit the pool of Siloam, if you've heard of the pool of Siloam, where Jesus heals the blind man, and so like that was excavated, and the steps were excavated from the first time, from Jesus's time, like the steps leading from the pool of Siloam up to the temple, and it's really cool. And so there's this there were these diggers in the time of Hezekiah who were trying to connect the pool of Siloam with inside of the city, because they were being besieged, and they dug like to connect the water, to make the water come. So actually, it's a visit where you have to walk 40 minutes in a tunnel that doesn't have any light. I mean, we bring a headlamp, and the water is up to your knees or halfway up your thigh, like fresh spring water that you're walking through 40 minutes in a dark tunnel. So it's just something fun to do that you don't have to do it, but like that's an optional visit that costs like $10 or something. And it's great to have your student card for that. So bring your student ID card. So there'll be some optional stuff, but most of the stuff is really going to be required to do as a group. You just get ready for that. The free time will be limited. Saturday, we will drive from Gallicantu to Emmaus. And we usually do an Emmaus walk. We just don't have time for much of an Emmaus walk this time. Maybe we'll have a short hour walk to Emmaus or something, symbolically, and then have Mass at Emmaus to conclude our pilgrimage. Are there any questions about the schedule? Okay, so that's like the itinerary. And with that in mind, we want to share a little more of what preparation logistics are. Okay, so let's look at this guy. You see the button here on this main page. Oops. There we go. Okay, you see these buttons. So Ascent Prep and Prep Practicals. Okay, so Ascent is fun preparation stuff you can do, or follow-up you can do. And so these are like cool stuff like the Hebrew lessons, or some other YouTubes that'll prep you like for Byzantine and Jewish stuff. And also our way of the cross. It's a really beautiful way of the cross that we use. And so we have the text online for you, and we might also offer you a copy of that you could take home. So it's a really awesome text of the way of the cross. And another reading lectio you might want to do if you want. Okay, and then And then trip preparation. You see this button, prep practicals. This is our chapel at Emmaus. Let's see. So there's a little checklist over here. What add you to a group? Why is that? You change it. So we don't use GroupMe. I don't know if we ever use.
I was gonna say WhatsApp.
We use WhatsApp groups. So we will add you to a WhatsApp group very shortly. Okay, because once you get abroad, you start using WhatsApp. Most Americans don't use WhatsApp until they get abroad, and they realize, wow, it's super convenient. So we encourage you also just while you're abroad, get your parents to get on WhatsApp too, because you can call and stuff like that with Wi-Fi. It's really easy. Really easy to share photos and everything. So definitely join WhatsApp, and as soon as you're on WhatsApp, we'll add you to our group, and then Will can organize you guys to get to know each other before you come and have a little meeting. Purchase your flights. I hope you all have purchased these flights. Once you have purchased your, oh, you don't need to do that.
Oh.
We just take that off too. Yeah, sorry, this is for our last. So don't worry about this one. And oh yeah, sorry. So our trip was complicated last time because it was after the semester and not during.
So take the baggage section.
Yeah, the baggage section. No. So insurance. So there are, for the moment, we just have one non-Gaming pilgrimage, but this applies to you guys. So for trip insurance, you guys, this trip is included in your regular insurance that you're getting for Gaming. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. And then fundraising, you are welcome to fundraise for this pilgrimage. I think it's an awesome cause. And then our prep Zoom, this is the last one. So safety waiver, please fill out the safety waiver ASAP just to have it out of the way, or else we have to get on you to do it. It's a pretty general waiver. Gaming organizes the trip to Vienna. Okay, maps.me, super convenient for Europe and for the Holy Land. Please download maps.me and then zoom in to maps for Israel. So there's 3 maps for Israel you want to download. The country Israel, Jerusalem, and then the Palestinian territories. So zoom into those. Try to zoom into like Jericho. You could put Jericho in a search, or you could just zoom in north of Jerusalem. That'll give you the Palestinian territories for Bethlehem and that kind of. So that's great to have, because then you have an offline map to be able to navigate, to be able to mark things and meeting points and stuff. WhatsApp, right? Pack your bag. So the packing list. Let's get there in a sec. It says have this form down that you, if you want to, just need to know that you might be interrogated in Tel Aviv. Okay, they might take you apart from the group and give you 20 questions. You know, it might be a little intimidating. So it's good to be able to say, I'm traveling with this community of Beatitudes that lives at Emmaus, but they probably won't know Emmaus. They might know like it doesn't really matter how you respond, because you're just a tourist. Okay, you're just coming as a tourist, and it's good to, yeah, good to be able to say who we are. So if you have this form, you probably won't be talked to, but they might ask you. So just in case, it's good to be not intimidated if you have this form downloaded. And then packing. Okay, here's some other resources. This is the pilgrim book that we're going to put in your hand. It'll be slightly different, but you can already have an idea of what the sweet pilgrim book is going to be. Oh yeah, baby. So you're welcome to like download this, or maybe we'll get it updated. We'll let you know when it's updated, but it's really fun. It gives you like little descriptions of the sites that we'll visit. It also gives you these discipleship goals, like how we're going to have liturgy and adoration and silent times and spiritual direction. Media fast is an important one. So please look it over, this media fasting. So this is just a lot more info if you want. Already have some Hebrew. and I already have this description of the sites we're going to visit. Okay, so this is at your fingertips from this preparation page. Okay, the Pilgrim Book. Okay, the Hebrew sheets we saw already. Some of these fun stuff you can explore. But let's look at the packing list. This is the important one. Okay, backpacking backpack and a day pack. Okay, so you want a regular, pretty big book bag day pack, and the backpacking backpack, and you want, it's nice if everything fits into one, but and read through all this other stuff. But the most important thing for the rest is good shoes. I don't know what that is. Shoes. Okay, we'll be walking a lot every day. Okay, and so please let us know if you have some kind of injury or some kind of thing that will keep you. It's not like we're going to be walking 5 miles every day, but we might walk as much as that as we're walking through cities and stuff. Just be ready for that. Chacos are awesome. Or I think it's great to have a good sturdy shoe or boot. It doesn't have to be a big steel-toed boot, but like doesn't have to be the best hiker, but at least something that's got support in it. Okay, and in addition to something like Chacos, so like 2 things you can walk well in, and 1 that you can use to go in and out of water. I think it's a good thing. Yeah. Okay, and then you can read through the other stuff that's specific to men and women. Women, you'll be a lot more comfortable in Israel if you're wearing a skirt. Okay, you can wear pants. We think men or women, if you're wearing shorts, it's great if it goes down to the knees at least. It's just a very modest culture. There's other people in Israel who aren't modest, but the people who live there generally are really modest, whether they're Jews or Muslims. And you'll feel more comfortable if you're wearing a skirt. So, but you are permitted to wear pants, especially when you hike and stuff like that. But okay, and it's good in the evening and stuff, even though we're in the weather still be hot in October. It's good to have a few layers, sweatshirt, stuff like that. And I think it's nice to have a light sleeping bag with other clothes you can put on if it gets colder in the night. We'll let you know if there's any chance of rain. Probably not. Okay, great. Any other questions?
Father, I have a small comment that might be helpful.
Awesome.
On the 20th, when the students check in, one of the things I know we're doing is going to be collecting their WhatsApp numbers. So I guess it's reasonable to say that by then they definitely will have the app. So if that's by any means helpful for creating the group chat, that's just some information that we know from this side of things. So
thanks a lot. Great. So what we'll probably do for WhatsApp is we'll send out a link for you to join the group. Okay. And then at a certain point, if some people haven't joined, we'll enter you, but we'll probably email you that link for you guys to join the group as soon as you're on WhatsApp. Okay. Great. That's about all I got. Let's stop the recording and